Hey guys, in this video, we'll synthesize a clap that sounds close to this, using nothing but Serum. Let's start by initializing the preset, turn off oscillator A and set the synth to mono. Activate the noise oscillator and select either a pink or a white noise. We'll go with ARP pink and set noise oscillator level to 0% for now. Turn on the filter, root noise oscillator in, and select the LBH12 filter. Set the morph parameter to around 50%. Set the cutoff in the mid-range to around 800 Hz and add some drive and resonance. We'll adjust these later. Now set LFO1 to envelope mode and free mode, then set its value to around 5 Hz. And then design a custom shape that looks close to this. Avoid being too identical if you aim to create an organic sounding clap. Then assign LFO1 to noise oscillator level, and here's what you should get. Now let's add some processing. First we can add a touch of space and width using the dimension expander with subtle settings. We're almost clipping the master output. Let's solve this by adding a clipper to clip these peaks and reduce dynamic while adding density to our clap. Then turn on the compressor, set it in multi-band mode. Set a low ratio of 1/1.2 or 1.5. Attack time to the minimum and release to the max. We don't need anything below 80 Hz, so we'll bring the lows to 0%. Then, add an EQ to high pass everything below 250 Hz. And add a bell with a relatively wide Q to around 1.5 kHz to give our clap more character. Next, let's add more color and space by using the FX filter to end our chain. Select the reverb filter and adjust parameters to your taste. These values work well, but take some time to experiment. Cut off around 40 Hz, resonance around 80, drive around 50%, damp around 15 or 20%, and mix around 10%. Okay, sounds cool, but we can improve it by modulating the mix using another LFO overtime. Set LFO2 to envelope mode and free mode, set the rate to around 2.5 Hz, and assign it to the FX filter mix knob to modulate the mix around 50%. Here's the result. Experiment with the curve, points, FX filter parameters, and fine-tune settings until you're happy with your sound. Now, I'd like to show you some extra tips to spice up your clap with more advanced synthesis techniques. Back to the oscillator tab, let's turn on oscillator A, select a sine wave. Then within the warp menu, select FM for noise and crank that knob to the max. Use LFO3 in envelope mode, set the rate around 1.5 Hz, and then design a custom shape to modulate oscillator A level to around 20%. This is our tail. Now routing it to the filter. Experiment with the settings, as you can get plenty of cool results by slightly tweaking these. Now let's use oscillator B to add one more layer of impact. Turn on oscillator B, select a sine wave and set the level set to 0%. Let's use one more LFO to quickly modulate both the level and pitch. Set LFO4 with these settings. Don't forget to turn on the envelope mode. This adds more percussive character by creating a subtle initial transient hit. Next, slightly adjust both filters' pan parameters out of the perfect center to differentiate the content in both left and right channels. Let's also make it velocity sensitive, so the harder you hit the key, the louder the clap plays. Turn down the main filter mix to 80% to allow some of the content to pass through. You can also try to change the noise type to get some variations. Extra tip: remember you can quickly render to audio by using Serum drag export function to lay down your claps to audio for further editing and use. Back to our initial ARP pink noise for now. Take the time to subtly tweak all the previous settings. Subtle changes can go a long way. And why not adding some macros to get quick control over the main parameters we'd like to tweak? Like balancing the tone, or fine-tuning the tail length. Or adjusting clarity or compression through quick controls. And remember, designing sounds is a matter of trials and errors, and experimentation. I hope you enjoyed this video. If that is the case, please hit that like button and subscribe not to miss any new content. Oh, and you can get this preset and over 160 more in our new pack, Reborn for Serum. Check the link in the description. Thanks for watching.